Hi, interghost here, and today's finisher is on The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on the Switch. So yeah, another Switch game today, and this is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, which is pretty much a remake of the original Game Boy title of the same name. And yeah, what did I think of it? Now, this is a game that I originally wasn't going to pick up. Now, two reasons for that. The first one is the graphics on here. I didn't really like the look of the graphic art style they used. And also, the second one was because they based it on the Nintendo game, the Game Boy game. I was a bit sort of, why are you doing that? Because the original Game Boy game is probably the best game on the Game Boy, and it's one which has some of the fondest memories for me. That and Super Mario the 6 Golden Coins, probably the peak of Nintendo's original Game Boy games right there. And I thought, why are you remaking that game, which is such a classic, and you've not really made any changes to it, you're sort of just porting it over with a new art skin on it. And I didn't buy it for quite a while. I saw a few people on YouTube saying how great it was. Happy Console Gamer really rated it. A couple of other people played it and said it was really worth picking up. Then I saw it one day in, I think it was CEX I got it from. I saw it for some reason, I think I had some credit, and I thought, no, alright, I'm going to pick this up, see what it's like. It holds its value. If I don't like it, I can always sell it on. And I played it and I loved it. Yeah, it is pretty much just the Game Boy game, so that's why I did like it so much. You know, if you like that game, you're going to like this game. It's revisiting old ground. I still probably don't really like the art style on it. They've gone sort of for a very basic looking cartoony style graphics. It looks 3D. It looks sort of like it could have been made with plasticine, but it hasn't been. It's still computer graphics. If they'd made it all with plasticine, like stop motion animation, that would have been extra special. I think it would have made it even better. But yeah, the graphic style they chose, I just thought they could have done something a little bit better than that. It looks a little bit half-hearted. A lot of people say it looks amazing, but I think they've sort of gone for an easy option. They've gone for a really simple look, very sort of one tone colour on everything, nothing sort of shaded or textured. It's all sort of very smooth and childlike. And I know that's probably the style they were going for, but I feel like it's just a cheap way of remaking the game. I think they could have come up with something a little bit better than that. That said, I don't want to put down on it. It is a very good game. If you like The Legend of Zelda, or if you played the original, you're going to love this game. I would recommend that you pick it up. It is quite expensive, but you know, you can play it, you can enjoy it, and you can sell it on, and it won't go down in value, so you're not really losing anything. What can I really say about it? If you don't know what a Zelda game is, well, you probably will if you're watching this channel. But you start off, you're just a normal child. You start off the game, you get a sword and a shield, and then the adventure unfolds. This one's a little bit different because you are already a adventurer, and you get washed up on a beach at the start of this one, and you don't know where you are, and then you get given your sword and your shield. So it's sort of the same as the others, but it's a little bit different. You don't start off as a nobody. You are already Link, the adventurer, and you've got to find out what you're doing on this island. And you go around and you start meeting all the characters. I think the reason this Zelda is probably one of my favourites, probably the whole series. I like the Super Nintendo one, which is pretty much, this is a smaller version of the Super Nintendo game, really. I didn't really like many of the other Zeldas up until Breath of the Wild recently. I did play them and enjoy them, but with me, Zelda, it's sort of, you get halfway through or 3/4 of the way through the game and it starts becoming stale and boring. You're doing the same things. Once you've got all the different weapons and stuff, it feels like a bit of a slog to get through the game and complete it. I think they've got it right with the new Breath of the Wild, because it is a proper open world and it doesn't get samey or boring. You can go exploring. But with this game, it got the length of the game just right, I think. It's not too long, it's not too short. It feels like an epic game. It feels like you've got places to explore, parts of the map you can't get to without getting the items from the dungeons to progress. And it feels like you're opening things all the time and you're moving forwards, and then you've got that clear goal, and then you can complete the game. Whereas the other Zeldas, yeah, like I said, it just feels like a slog. You're trying to get through the levels just to complete it. But this one is really good length, gameplay length of time. Completed it within a few weeks, maybe a couple of months. Didn't take too long. That's not non-stop playing. It was like, you know, a couple of hours here and there. And yeah, I wanted to play it to the end, so it was really good fun. I will admit that there was a couple of times I had to look up the walkthroughs. There is a few places in the game where I think it's a little bit too cryptic and hard, some of the dungeons. Yeah, and I'd be surprised if you'd be able to find your way through some of it without looking it up. Although I did complete it on the Gameboy back in the day, and you wouldn't be able to look that up. Or I might have looked in magazines at walkthroughs and that sort of thing. But yeah, if you're a fan of the Zelda on the Super Nintendo, or you've played the new Breath of the Wild and you're looking for another title, I think this one is probably the one to play. I wouldn't play the other ones. You know, Wind Waker is really good, but again, it just goes on for too long. If you want a quick, fun Zelda hit, then this is the game to play. And if you're a fan of the original Game Boy game, you're not going to go wrong with this one. So I think I've waffled on a lot about this one. That's Zelda Link's Awakening on the Switch. I would highly recommend you play it, and I'll catch you again in another finisher. Thank you.